Time is running out to find a solution to Detroit's financial troubles. Tonight, the investigators have uncovered new information that's painting a very grim future for the city of Detroit. Good evening, I'm Stephen Clark.
And I'm Diana Lewis. An internal audit of the city's finances shows that Detroit will soon run out of cash and won't even be able to pay its workers. Investigator Bill Proctor begins our team coverage on the secret report that city officials don't want you to know about. Bill, what did you find out?
Well, Diana, we now know why city leaders met behind closed doors when they were going over this very bleak audit. So much of it is bad news, and it's coming to a head on the eve of Mayor Dave Bing's speech, which is scheduled for tomorrow night. There has been a lot of talk about an emergency manager taking over in the city of Detroit, and Mayor Bing has been one of the most vocal.
It's very possible that that could happen. I don't want that to happen. I personally don't want to be, an emergency manager. But my goal when I came to this office was to come in and work for the people to try to fix some of the problems that we have.
This internal audit may be why Bing has been so outspoken about the need for an EM. It says that in just months, Detroit will be out of cash.
It paints a very bleak picture. They're to a point now, based on the projections here, that they will not bring in enough revenues to cover their basic operating costs, which is substantially payroll.
So just what does this financial crisis mean for just regular people living in and around Detroit? Well, and what must be done to fix all this problem? Well, we'll have that for you tonight on Action News at 11 o'clock.
Of course, the mayor's talking tomorrow night at 6 o'clock to the city. I suppose this is going to come up.
They're holding so much of what they're saying close to the vest, but the bottom line is they will be talking about layoffs. They will be laying numbers out that apparently have not been released before, talking about the report that we have in our hands already.
All right, yeah, I've been looking at this report right now. It's
unsettling and scary, too. Thank you.
It is, indeed.
Yes, thank you, Bill. Well, the thought of an emergency manager taking over the city has prompted the city council to work through their holiday recess to come up with a solution to this budget mess.
7 Action News reporter Val Clark continues our team coverage with what the council is saying about all this tonight.
The city's budget crisis is the main reason for a decision by council today to cancel at least part of its holiday recess.
Every kind of suggestion has been on the table, and we're trying to look at that above and beyond 1,500 to 2,000 people being laid off. We don't want to see that at all, but we do know something has to happen, and it has to happen from the bottom to the top and the top to the bottom.
What about the possibility of the emergency manager?
Well, it is a possibility if certain steps are not taken, but I'm of the belief, and I think the entire council is of the belief, that it's something that doesn't have to happen, and in fact won't happen if council and the mayor take the steps that they need to take in order to prevent it.
There's going to have to be more things than just cuts. We're going to have to look at everything involved, and it's something that might affect the mayor's team, something that's going to affect my team, something that's going to affect the citizens, something that's going to affect the unions. And so it's time for us all to come together and face it.
Council members will be listening intently tomorrow night to see exactly what the mayor has to say. From downtown Detroit, Val Clark, 7 Action News.
If the governor appoints an emergency manager for Detroit, here's what you can expect. The manager has the power to seize and sell public assets without a court order. That person can remove elected officials from office, dissolve or merge cities, townships, and school districts, and an emergency manager can break binding contracts and eliminate collective bargaining rights. Finally, the manager can close public services without a public hearing.
A lot of power, and 4 local cities have been appointed emergency manager over recent years. The most current, the city of Pontiac, which was appointed emergency manager in September. Other cities include Highland Park, Hamtramck, and Ecorse. And of course, Mayor Dave Bing is going to address the city's finances tomorrow night at 6 o'clock from the Northwest Activity Center in Detroit. We will bring you that live on Action News, live streaming on WXYZ.com, and of course on your mobile apps.